Everyone sees automation, but very few see the people behind it. I'm Somin Salanki, digital marketing and content specialist at AutomateX, and I'm going to introduce you to these amazing human beings behind this automation. So what are we waiting for? Let's go!
And I am a truck driver.
All natural, mate, all natural.
Today we have Marcel with us, one of our directors.
Okay, we've got project number one. This is what needs to be done. This is how far I am. This is where I'm struggling.
Basically, you ruined his holiday.
Yeah, unlock our customers' real potential. Yeah, because you're distracted and you're on your phone. And
Exactly.
These days, we don't build new facilities without considering automation.
Hello everyone. So today we have Marcel with us, one of our directors.
Today I'm taking Somi to go meet one of our potential clients. We've been working with them for a while on a warehouse automation application. They've got a facility down in Hamilton that they own the building. They've outgrown it to a certain extent, and obviously, like a lot of our other customers, looking at ways that they can use their space more efficiently. They've also got an operation over in Australia, and they are looking at some point in either this year or next year building a new facility in Melbourne. And yeah, I guess these days we don't build new facilities without considering automation. So yeah,
That's true. I mean,
conversation we're having.
yeah, that's the age of automation, and then you can't build your facilities without automation and without AutomateX. Well, let's see. So, are we allowed to shoot over there? I don't know. Have you had a chat with him so
Yeah, well, our lovely marketing manager Jordan was supposed to give them a call in advance to just get permission, but Jordan's a busy man, so
far? Jordan.
yeah, so we will we'll give them a call before we arrive on site and just start recording. But
Yeah, let's hope we get the permission, and that would be great. So let's see. We are on the motorway right now, and we are going to Hamilton to meet this person. What's the name of this person that we are meeting?
this is Kyan from White's Power Sports. So we're meeting with Luke and Kyan.
Okay.
White's Power Sports, yeah, they specialize in power sports equipment. So all the fun boys' toys and jet skis and everything else, but more so
Wow.
all the accessories and the equipment and the spare parts and all of the bits that go with all the various power sports. So what a fun customer.
Yeah, I mean, if they are already dealing in power sports, they definitely need automation. They look so cool, man. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
More toys.
Yeah, more toys.
Just calling Kind from White's Power Sports.
Okay. We get the permission. Shoot.
One is kind.
Morning, Kind. It's Marcel, AutomateX. How are you?
Good. How are you, mate?
I can't complain. Yeah, we're just on our way, Somi and I, to come meet with you and Luke. Just part of the meeting that Mark put together for us.
Yep, 3 years.
Very good. Hey, Kind, a little bit of a left field request here. We're just busy putting together a little bit of a documentary, just from a marketing perspective. And I was hoping Jordan would actually reach out to you a little bit earlier, but I was just wondering, would you mind if we do a little bit of recording while we're visiting, or do you guys have some commercial sensitivities and things like that that would rather not?
No sensitivities, mate. Help yourself. Yep,
Awesome.
You'll be fine.
Awesome. No, that's
I haven't warned anybody to do their hair or wear our shirt.
all natural, mate. All natural. No, that I really appreciate that. And yeah, before we share anything, we'll share footage with you. It's just, yeah, we're doing a little bit of a journey. So if we do, like with these early engagements, capture a little bit of footage, it's always so special to be able to look back when you end up doing a little bit of a project together. So a lot of it might just go into the archive, but yeah, we'll come have a chat about it when we see you this morning.
Yeah, no worries. All
Excellent.
Right, see you in a bit.
Thanks, Kind. Catch you soon. Bye bye.
So, yeah, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Woo-hoo! We got it! Oh man, that's so good. Feels so nice.
Yeah, I think it's just more respectful to be able to kind of get someone's permission before you just arrive on their site and start recording.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know how people might react to being on camera. Some people really don't like being on camera.
So how much time it's gonna take us?
About 37 minutes.
37 minutes.
Well, and then we've got another half an hour to wait as well. So
Oh, long time.
got a bit of time, yeah.
Well, in the meanwhile, you can tell me something about the company, because as you know, I'm fairly new in this company. I don't know much of the history, and it would be great to know like how you started thinking about forming a company, something like this, like Automate X. How did this idea originated in your mind?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so Jesus, it's almost coming up 6 years now. In April it'll be 6 years since we started the business. But both Ben and myself, we automation engineers by trade. Like we studied computer science. I studied mechatronics. So we've been in and around automation and in the industry for a while. Both of us had slightly different backgrounds. So Ben came from a machine manufacturing company where they design specialist package handling machinery and automation equipment and robotics. So he's been working in and around our primary industries like food and beverage, and especially like cheese packaging machines and all sorts of interesting machinery.
Okay.
And I was more involved in the equipment, so the automation equipment, like specification, automation system design, but more so around the equipment supply. Mm-hmm. So all your sensors and your variable speed drives and servo systems. So a lot of the automation equipment that the likes of Ben's previous company would use in their automation applications. So that's how I met Ben. I was trying to sell him sensors and equipment. Didn't do a very good job at it, but yeah, he bought some bits and pieces off me. But anyway, I really always appreciated the way that Ben did his engineering and project management approach, and I always rated him as a really good operator. Mm-hmm. So we kept in touch over the years, and about a year and a half before we both finished up with our respective companies, we more or less left our companies that we were working for at the time at more or less the same time. Yeah. But we met up, and he mentioned to me like, oh no, he's gonna start his own business. He's had enough of the machine manufacturing side of things. He just wants to build something for himself for a change, and I found that intriguing because I was more or less on the same journey. And yeah, it's interesting. We went down to Hamilton. We had a bit of a meet-up and a bit of a chat about his plans and what he's going to do. And yeah, quite interestingly, a few months later, at that point, I had also finished up with my previous company and started Epic Automation. At that time, Ben had Performance Automation, and we both had our one-man bands. Yeah. Just system integration, engineering services. Ben actually ended up doing some contract project engineering work for a big materials handler, kind of one of the world's biggest material handling companies in the world, Kaifuku, which he found quite interesting. It's big projects, high pressure. It's like never enough engineers to do the work that needs to be done, but it's also much less responsibility. Like, you're a contractor, you go and you do your work and you do it well, and you've got a lot of flexibility as a contractor. Mm-hmm. Whereas I, more so being the salesperson, took the business development and the sales tactic and then tried to kind of capture some customers and so grow the business organically. Yeah. And the first few months was a bit of a struggle, question whether we made the right decision to start the business, but slowly but surely we gained some traction with clients, and ended up overselling myself a little bit, and ended up having more projects than I could deliver by myself.
And you're delivering some good projects. That's why.
Well, I was selling quite well, and we're like, great, we delivering some projects, we're delivering some solutions, but all of a sudden the projects started getting a bit bigger, and a couple of them landed at the same time, and so I was like, oh man, I need some help. Like, I need some help, and I knew a few engineers in the industry that I was like, yeah, if I ever did something with someone as a business, or like I would like to work with them.
Yeah.
So at the time I reached out to the automation vendor that I was using for some of the projects. I'm like, if you know of any engineers that has familiarity with your software and with your hardware and could help out on a couple of projects, just let me know. And they said, they'll go ask around and come back to me. And in the meantime, I reached out to a few people, and I reached out to Ben in particular, and I was like, hey man, like I've got some projects on and really need some help, and would love to just meet up with you and go through the projects and see what we can do together. And Ben's like, yeah, okay, we can have a catch up, have a bit of a look. So I met up with him in Drury at the Autobahn, and we sat down, and I opened my folder. I'm like, right, okay, we've got project number 1. This is what needs to be done. This is how far I am. This is where I'm struggling. This is project number 2, 3, 4. So I started listening.
Help me out.
Yeah, help me out. Yeah, like I'm drowning a little bit. So, he was busy finishing up with the project and close to actually going over to Paris to go and deliver this project. And he's like, okay, well, I wouldn't be able to help with everything, but this one sounds quite interesting, and this one I think I can help with in this capacity. So we delivered a little project together. He did a lot of the conveyor control sequencing and the conveyor control logic for me. I focused on some of the stacking machines, because it was for ply board manufacturer. So they take ply boards and then treat it and stack it onto pallets and then send it out to clients. So we designed a little bit of an automation system to be able to handle the boards, and if there's a problem with the quality of the boards, to reject them, stack them, or unstack them. So
You can literally do anything with your automation, can't you?
It's quite. And that's the thing. In those early days when we started the business, like you're trying to find your customer base, you're trying to find those type of projects where your skill sets match what the customer is trying to solve. But because automation is so, like, it gives you a toolkit, but every customer's application is different. So you need to be extremely flexible and agile with how you take the automation, how you apply it to their specific operation. So those first few projects alongside Ben went well, and it was so funny because he finished the programming, the PLC programming, and then right before we had to go to site to go do the commissioning, he's like, right, I'm off to Paris, I'll see you later.
Be with you on a video call.
So he's off to Paris. He leaves me with a code that he wrote for me, and we code developed a bit of a functional specification of how the code's supposed to work.
Okay.
And obviously every engineer kind of does it in their style as well. So it took me a little while to get my head around the way that Ben did his coding and his functional specifications, but managed to get my head around it, and with a little bit of remote help from him over in Paris, we managed to commission the system successfully, and it's still running. And
Basically, you ruined his holiday.
Yeah. Midwinter for him as well. So I was like, but they're still a customer of ours. So almost 6 years later, they're still a customer of ours, and the system is still running, still stacking boards. So we did an okay job back then.
More than okay, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you. After 6 years, you're still standing solid. You're getting clients like anything. What else do you need, man?
It's been such a fun journey, because at the end of the day, like, we are in the business of being able to unlock our customers' real potential in their specific industries.
Yeah.
It's like every customer has a unique set of requirements. Like,
that's true.
Like if you have a customer that manufactures these cups, like they might come to you and say, hey, I've got a machine that presses the actual cup for us, and then from there it needs to be cleaned up and treated a little bit, and then we've got a molding machine that does the lids or the little sleeve, and they'll come to us and say, hey, we want you to be able to assemble this for us, put it in the packaging, put the packaging on a pallet, move the pallet into the warehouse. And that client's requirements is going to be very different to a customer that's, I don't know, selling shirts or shoes or whatever the case might be. So it's being able to take those, I guess, the automation fundamentals of how do you best handle an object like this.
Where there's no human.
There's no human. Like, how do, if your brief is like, automate this from raw materials to my machines all the way through to finished goods in my warehouse without anything being touched. You can look at each one of those, I guess, applications in itself and say, okay, what's the best technology that's going to solve that little task? And sometimes a human is still the best. 100%. 100%. Like, if you take a customer that manufactures this, but just next to it they manufacture these type of things, it's a very different process. You can't put one automation solution in place that's going to be able to handle all their products.
Definitely.
So now you have to look at, okay, does automating this application justify the investment? Will it ever have payback? And does it do enough to be able to automate the whole process? Or is it still more viable for a person to handle some of those tasks? That's just, because you don't think twice. If I asked you, Somi, put this lid on the cup for me,
I'll just
you just put it on. And if I asked you, Somi, put this lid on the cup for me, you'll just put it on. And whether it's a screw or press, or to us humans it doesn't matter, but when you want to translate that into automation, every single aspect of this cup and this material that you're working with, or how you can grip it, or how you have to turn it, affects this automation system that you have to put in place.
But still, when you do it through automation, what I can see is preciseness. Like, if a human, let's say if I was putting a lid on it, every time when I'll put a lid on it, it will be very different.
Yeah, because you're distracted and you're on your phone and you
Exactly.
you don't feel very well that day, so you don't show up.
Yeah, I had a fight with my partner. I had something. Everything goes around with a human mind can affect your work. But with your automation, even if you are putting a lid, I know it for sure that it will be exact the same. So the quality never changes.
Correct. Yeah, you get that repeatability, you get the quality, you get the reliability, and especially that repetitive nature of tasks. Like, I don't think the human was ever really designed to do the same thing.
That's true.
Put a lid on a cup. 8 hours a day. It's and we're seeing a lot of
inhumane,
that.
to be honest.
A lot of that, like when we see, I guess you always looked at certain countries where they didn't really have the labor protection or the labor laws, and even the age of the people that were almost forced to work in those type of sweatshops or factory environments. It's not a pleasant place to be, and some factories and manufacturing facilities and warehouses, like, it's modern, it's air-conditioned, it's not an unpleasant place to work. But certain applications are just dangerous. Like, we do a lot in the machine safety space, and we always try and remove the human from the hazard where they can actually get themselves hurt. And it might not always be a big press that's going to squish your hand or something like that.
I've seen many cases of those back in India.
And I think, like, a lot of what we're seeing is those repetitive strain injuries, where it's like, because they're doing the same thing day in, day out, it might only be a little 2-kilogram object that they're moving, but because they're doing it day in, day out, like, things start hurting. And
the adversities becomes worse and worse every day. And it's not just that, like, the mental pressure their families take on, because obviously it's a big toll on society when these humans are working day in and day out, same repetitive job in those environments, and when they go back to their families, it affects not just them but their family, their children, their everything. It's like a chain that you cannot stop.
And I think, like, that person that's sitting there putting that lid on the cup, he's often got much higher ambitions. He wants to upskill. He wants to be able to do more valuable tasks than just assembling something day in, day out. So what we have found is the areas in which we automated, they didn't get rid of that person that was previously assembling the cup. Like, our customer then takes that person, they upskill them to be able to manage the machine or manage the robot and the way we design the systems, it's very human centric. So our machine human interfaces are often designed to be very intuitive. So you don't need to be an automation engineer to run the automation.
Exactly.
And now there's a whole bunch of new, very exciting roles that's opening up within businesses, like robotic fleet manager and technology manager, and you get these staff members that they've got the ambition, they've got the drive, they've got the mental capacity to pick up something a little bit more interesting and a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
And those people do so well, like it's so incredibly well. And it's a much more stimulating
And safer.
and much safer.
Much safer. Imagine that human being who was just doing a repetitive task over and over again. Now they are doing this with the automation machines where they're just operating them. They don't have any danger on their life. They're safe.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's a lot of stigma in society at the moment around AI and around automation and robotics, around, say for instance, AI taking jobs away, and like it's yes it is going to take certain jobs away that
Are repetitive.
They are very repetitive, and that it is better done by something that can crunch millions of bits of information much faster.
Yeah.
But what it does mean is the human can do so much more because the machine is almost enhancing its capability.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like as a avid technology, like I love technology, I love automation, I love AI, and it's very fascinating to see how it's evolving, and I think how the general population is starting to accept that this is life, the technology is here, it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better.
That's true.
But just how it's impacted my personal life as well, just in the way that we interact with technology. And in the past, I might have not known anything about, say, the legal field.
Yeah.
And I would have had to go to a lawyer and pay him a lot of money to be able to come up with a legal document of some description. Not that I won't do that, but now I can inform myself a lot better around the rules, the regulations. I can ask questions that can be answered specific to our world area and our field. And you can still bring in that professional once you've actually educated yourself and you know a bit more about the topic that you are interacting with.
Same with me in content creation. Like there are so many things that I wouldn't have known. I would have needed a manager or anyone to just tell me those intricate details of collaborating with some brands or anything. But now I just ask ChatGPT or let's say any of those AI tools, and it can actually give me a nice detailed insights on how much you charge, how much does it cost you for this kind of reel or anything.
And I think especially you coming from a non-technical, non-automation background, for you to go and get up to speed with our industry and what we do and the various technologies, like you can go and study automation engineering for 4 years and get to know all the ins and outs. Or you can immerse yourself in the
process.
Like immerse yourself and be curious and ask questions. And I think automation and AI has helped a lot with that process as well. Being able to not necessarily be a subject matter expert using AI, but being more informed about what is a AGV or what is an AMR. Give me a definition of what an AMR is. Explain
now I know
me.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw your videos.
Yeah.
Autonomous, which can be controlled by either a remote or anything, and then mobile, which has a wheels or can like something like this, right? I'm getting
Move
there.
around.
And then R, robotics. So anything that can work itself through wheels or anything autonomously, that's an AMR. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah. Close enough.
Still getting there. So and then the LiDAR scanning I was looking at. So all these terms I had no idea about, but now when I'm getting to work with you guys, listening to you guys talking about things, making your pitch and everything, and then having those meetings with your clients, it is giving me an insight into the automation industry. And to be honest, it seems like this is the need of the hour. Like giving those people the chance to innovate or put their brain into some more useful things rather than just doing repetitive tasks over and over again and putting their life in danger. I think this is much more useful.
I think so. We're going to see a big shift in the industry, in society, in the way we interact with technology, and I do think there's going to have to be a bit of a reform globally in how what we see as employment. Like what is, like, if you are looking after your elderly parents or maybe a disabled child or something like that, it is so much work that you put into that, and why not have that as a career that you can actually, like, for instance, governments can help people that look after their elderly parents, and that could be a paid job, might be a government paid job or something like that. But I think we're going to have to redefine as a society how we define ourselves. Like, up until now, we were very much career defined. I am a truck driver. I am a content creator. I am an automation engineer.
That's true.
And you build your whole persona and your whole, like, existence around that job, essentially, or that career. Whereas I think moving forward, robotics and AI and technology is really going to have to force us as a society to redefine how we find fulfillment and satisfaction in our day-to-day lives. And I think it's going to be good in a certain sense, and it's going to challenge us quite significantly in another sense around job market and how many I guess certain types of jobs, how we educate our kids. Like, my kids are young. They've got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, and my 7-year-old is getting to a stage where she's really starting to pay interest in certain things, and as a dad, I want to be able to encourage her and help her lean into those things where she can learn and she can explore those interests, and those interests will eventually turn into maybe her career. But even as someone that's immersed in technology daily, like, I'm finding it very hard to be able to kind of define what it is that my child should be studying. So I think there's going to be quite a big shift over the next 5 to 10 years, and I think this is challenging some of our customers and some of their businesses as well, in the fact that all of a sudden there's this very fast moving environment where the people that are, I guess, the front runners, the pioneers, and the ones that adopt technology faster, they're going to see those benefits faster, like the efficiency gains and all of those type of things. But for a lot of clients, like, they are, I would say, kind of middle age, maybe say call it 35 through to 65 or whatever the age might be. A lot of them didn't grow up with automation, with technology, with AI, all of these type of things in their general environment. So it's very daunting. It's quite scary for, like, my kids are growing up with it. They see robots, they see AI, they see automation from such a young age. By the time that they get it into the job market and into the industry, it's perfectly normal for them. So the world's going to change in that way. But for the business owners that have been doing, I don't know, manufacturing or warehousing their whole careers, and it's always been done a certain way, they might find it a little bit daunting around how to actually take those first steps.
Well, humans are always difficult with the change. Whenever the change will come.
We've always done it this way. It's always worked. Why is it not going to work for the next 5-10 years? And unfortunately, we live in a global marketplace now. So for our local businesses to stay competitive, to stay relevant, we need to adopt those same kind of strategies and tactics as the competition that's bringing things in from overseas, or the big players that are putting in facilities in our local markets, because they know the benefits of automation. They've been implementing and experimenting, and yes, not every automation project goes spectacularly well, and not every automation is a massive success, but it's those early adopters that are willing to try and willing to take a bit of a chance on automating their processes, and those are the ones that actually beat out the competitors that aren't implementing those type of things.
Yeah.
So and I guess that was our whole philosophy of when we started the business, is we had skill sets that we could offer our clients that they didn't necessarily have in the organization. So it's really about that partnership, is bringing our skill sets and our experience to their operation. They know their business is the best. They know exactly how they run their operation, how they serve their clients, how efficient they are or inefficient they are.
Yeah.
So it's being able to bring our experience and the various technologies and business enhancement. I think moving forward, like for some business, it's going to be a real struggle to adopt automation, to really go through that change management process.
Yeah.
For other customers, it's going to come a lot more natural. They're going to be a lot more open to technology and to innovation and those type of things. So I think in New Zealand in particular, over the last, well, call it decade and a half, we've seen a real shift in the openness to automation and the desire to learn about automation. And especially in the last, I would say 3 years, there's been, like, I think post-COVID almost feels like it was a bit of a shift where we all realized the world can change very fast, and it's the businesses that are able to adopt and change to a very rapidly evolving world that's going to survive. And a lot of those businesses through COVID didn't survive. A lot of business could operate better because they already had some level of automation, or it's like the social distancing thing wasn't as bad for them because they could still run their machinery with supervisors, and they didn't have 40 people standing in 10 square meters putting things together.
That's true. And anyhow, this has been the way of the world ever since I have known it. Like, change, whenever it comes to the society, you have to either ride the wave or you just left behind. Like, I remember this case study I read back in those days for Kodak. You know, everyone knew Kodak back in those days. It was the
camera business.
The camera business. It was such a big thing that everyone knew the name Kodak. But what happened when these digital Sony cameras and other cameras started coming? They were not ready to accept that the change has come, and then you have to shift to digital market. They were like, no, we were doing things like this, and we will be continuously doing things like this. What happened? It was taken over.
It became irrelevant.
It became irrelevant, and that's what happens. You have to move with the time. 100%.
And I think even the likes of Blockbuster, like Blockbuster, where you go rent your VHS videotapes. Like, I grew up with that. Like, on a Friday night, we would go down to the local Blockbuster and go hire a couple of movies and or maybe even a couple of games. And then that would be you for the weekend. But something like Netflix comes along or Spotify comes along, and all of a sudden it really just shakes up the entire industry.
Imagine.
And again, it's like those businesses, they either need to adapt and embrace the change and really drive the change, or even be the change.
Yes. Exactly.
Versus those businesses that are like, no, we are at the top of our game. This is never going to change.
And they had the financial backing. They could have easily beat those new businesses if they had just followed in those strategies and then those tactics what they were implementing.
Exactly. Like Nokia was another very good example. They were at the top of the game with their mobile phones. Everyone knew about Nokia.
That's true.
And everyone had the 3310 like indestructible phone. And like iPhone came along, and like all these smartphones, Nokia didn't adapt fast enough, and they became irrelevant as a technology or as a business. So so often it is a challenging conversation to have with a client, because there's a lot of uncertainty around how you get from where you are now to how you get to a point where you are innovating and you are like adopting that change and really
and you become the world leaders in your space.
And that really ties in with our mission statement. It's like we enable and empower our partners, being our clients, to be the best in their different industry sectors.
That's
and whether that's someone that has a warehouse that really just wants to serve their clients the best. They want the best turnaround as soon as that order comes into their system, that they can pick and pack and send out that order. Like, we want them to be able to be the best in their sector.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's been a very, very interesting journey over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, you must be, every time when you think about it, must be making you really proud about it. Like, from where you started as an engineer, and more so, before even that, when you went to college, did you ever imagine having your own company? Something like this?
I think it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. Like,
okay.
for me, it's I don't know. I love building and creating things, and obviously, as an engineer, you get to do that every project. Like, whether it's a research and development project, or whether it's you solving some kind of automation challenge for your clients. So I've always liked that creating and building aspect of it, and for me, like, it's shifted a little bit from the satisfaction you get from engineering, building and creating, to now we kind of building and creating a business.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother engineering exercise in and of itself, and it comes with its own
now you have
set of
more
challenges.
responsibility. You're not just working for one single client, now you're working for multiple clients.
Yeah, exactly. So it's but like, personally, I've always my father was an electrical technician, so I grew up in his workshop, taking radios apart and playing with microwave transformers, and that was my daycare. After school, I go to his workshop and I go play around with a soldering iron. And
now I can get it. Where did you get the knack for it? That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's always kind of been like my father having his own business back in the day, and it was always something that I had in the back of my mind that one day I would love to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But one thing I have realized is that it's never just one person that makes it. Like, a business is just a combination of all the people that you bring together to really, really, really make it special and really make it different from other businesses. So I think, like, we've been extremely lucky in how we've brought on people into automatics, and I think we've found a very good mix of people that they own their excellence. Like, they are nimble and agile and really able to make the customer's challenge their challenge, and be relatable with the client. And
that was some nice talk, man, and we didn't even realize that we have almost reached there.
Go White's Power Sports.
And there's Mark.
Take a jet ski or two home while we're at it.
Yeah, why not? Wow.
There we go.
That's a big warehouse.
Yeah, this whole area is really growing. Lots of warehouses popping up around the Hamilton North area, Tarapa. Let's go park next to Mark.
Yeah. How you doing?
It's on me. Good, mate. How are you?
Good. It's been a long time. Last time I saw you was at the party.
That's right.
At the bowls, yeah.
Pre-Christmas.
Yeah.
Back into the year now.
How was your Christmas?
Oh, fantastic, mate. Yeah, we've been travelling around the North Island.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, Mark.
Good. Thanks, Mark.
Along the core values of having fun, passion for cars, safe transport.
Yeah, that's the way to tell you.